Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive with us.
Excited to be here.
Today we're looking at something I know a lot of you think about.
Definitely.
It's making money online and how to really find your path
Absolutely.
in this crazy business world that's always changing so fast.
Constantly changing.
Whether you're a small business owner
Right.
or a freelancer entrepreneur, part of a corporate team, it could be so overwhelming to keep up with everything.
For sure.
But you guys send in some really interesting insights from someone who built a really successful career in the business world.
Definitely.
And now they want to help others do the same.
Awesome.
So we're going to dig into all of that and uncover the good stuff, the gems.
The golden nuggets.
Exactly.
I'm excited about this one.
Me too.
There's so much opportunity out there. And we're going to talk about strategies you can use today.
I love that.
Even if you're starting from scratch.
Oh, that's perfect, because I think so many people feel like they missed the boat or something.
Totally.
Have you ever thought about how AI could simplify your life or take your business to the next level? If you're serious about making AI work for you, just drop me a message on Instagram, Tech Time with AI. I'll help you adapt AI strategies that fit perfectly with your goals.
So one of the things that stood out to me right away is how social media has totally flipped the script.
Completely.
It used to be all about needing thousands of followers.
Right. It was like you needed this massive audience
to even get your message out there.
It was like trying to get on a billboard in Times Square.
Oh, totally.
You needed a huge budget, and even then it was like a shot in the dark.
But now, because of the way the algorithms work,
right,
your first post could reach millions of people.
Potentially millions.
If it's good.
If it's engaging, if it's the right content. It's crazy.
That changes everything.
It's a game changer.
Especially for small businesses or entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
Who maybe don't have tons of money to spend on marketing.
It's like the playing field has been leveled.
I love that.
Anyone with a good idea and the willingness to just go for it, they have a shot.
And this is where it gets really interesting.
Tell me more.
Have you heard of TikTok Shop?
Yes.
So it's like QVC, but for the social media age.
For sure.
And it's so much more interactive and engaging.
It's way more fun, too.
Oh,
I've been seeing people have so much success with this.
Really?
There's this cool strategy where you go to discount stores like TJ Maxx or Marshall's.
Got it.
Find unique things under $30 and then sell them on TikTok Shop through live videos.
Wait, so you can just walk into a store, find a cool scarf or something?
Totally.
That's a good price, and then sell it on TikTok for a profit.
That's exactly what people are doing.
Wow.
It's called arbitrage.
Arbitrage.
Which basically means buy low, sell high.
I'm following.
Imagine you buy a box of those fidget spinners for $20 and each one sells for $5. You make $3 profit on each spinner.
Wow.
Simple.
So smart.
Right. You don't need a fancy product or a ton of inventory to get started.
Okay, if you're already getting ideas from this, hit that button and share this with a friend who needs to hear it.
Definitely.
So this next point is, for all you action takers out there.
Love it.
It's not enough to just talk about ideas or listen to podcasts.
Right.
You got to actually do something.
Exactly.
It's about turning knowledge into action.
100%.
It reminds me of this writer who gave away free copies of his book. But he said the real value wasn't owning the book.
Got it.
It was reading it and actually using what you learned.
It's like having a gym membership.
Yes.
But never go.
Perfect analogy.
He even said it's kind of like school in a way. We learn all this stuff, but school also teaches us to handle discomfort and push through challenges.
True.
Which is so important in business.
Think about all those group projects. Some of them were probably a nightmare.
For sure.
But you learned how to work with other people. Manage your time and overcome obstacles.
Absolutely.
Those are skills that are useful no matter what you do.
100%.
It's like building a muscle.
Totally.
The more you face challenges, the stronger you get.
And that brings us to something that holds so many people back.
What's that?
Fear of failure.
Yeah, it's easy to get paralyzed by that.
Totally.
Like, what if it doesn't work out?
Right, but here's the thing. Failure is inevitable. It's part of the process. The key is to reframe it.
How do you mean?
See it as a learning experience.
I like that.
This speaker we're talking about, he actually embraces failure.
Really?
Calls them battle scars.
Battle scars.
They might not look pretty, but they show what you've been through.
I love that.
And they make you tougher.
It's like learning to ride a bike.
Exactly.
You're going to fall a few times.
You will?
But you learn something each time.
Totally.
And eventually you get it.
And speaking of things that might feel scary, but can help you grow.
I'm intrigued. It's a hot topic right now.
It is.
And a lot of people are worried about it taking jobs.
For sure.
It's easy to see those headlines and get nervous. But think about when the tractor was invented. It replaced a lot of farm workers.
That's true.
Huge shift at the time. But it led to new industries and jobs.
It's about adapting to the new landscape
Exactly.
and finding the new opportunities.
So instead of fearing AI, let's embrace it as a tool that can make us better at what we do.
This is where prompt engineering comes in.
Prompt engineering.
Basically learning how to give good instructions to AI tools so they can help us work faster and smarter.
Makes sense.
It's like teaching someone to bake a cake.
Oh.
You wouldn't just say make a cake.
Right. You give them the recipe.
You could tell them the ingredients, the measurements, the steps.
Totally.
Prompt engineering is like giving the AI the right recipe
I get it.
to get the result you want.
That's a good analogy. It's a skill that's becoming really valuable,
In pretty much every field.
and anyone can learn it.
This is a great example of how focusing on practical skills can be way more useful than just memorizing facts.
Totally. And this next story is a good reminder to keep things in perspective. The speaker was talking about his work with a charity in Africa.
Wow.
They build wells to give people access to clean water.
That's amazing.
It makes you realize that no matter what challenges we're facing,
Right.
there are always people going through much tougher things.
Absolutely.
It's so easy to get caught up in our own little bubbles.
For sure.
But it's good to zoom out sometimes and see the bigger picture.
Perspective is everything.
Gratitude is a powerful thing too.
It really is.
When we focus on what we have instead of what we don't,
Right.
it can really shift your whole mindset.
It can change everything.
So what stood out to you the most from all of this?
One thing that really hit home for me is finding work that you genuinely love.
Business is tough. You will face challenges.
Hopefully. Setbacks are inevitable.
Right. But when you're passionate about what you're doing, it makes the hard times so much easier.
It fuels your dedication and your perseverance.
Exactly.
You're more likely to push through if you really believe in what you're building.
The difference between running a marathon because you love it versus running one because someone told you to.
Totally.
If you don't love it, you're going to quit when it gets hard.
That's a great point.
And that leads us to another big idea,
What's that?
self-awareness.
Oh, yeah, that's crucial.
It's huge.
Because not every strategy or opportunity
Yeah.
is going to be the right fit for every person.
It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
Exactly. It just won't work.
So how do people figure out what's right for them?
It starts by asking yourself some tough questions. What are you naturally good at? What do you actually enjoy doing? What are you willing to work hard for?
That's a good one. What kind of lifestyle do you want to create?
It's about getting clear on your strengths, passions, and your goals.
And then you got to experiment. Try different things.
Because you might not find the perfect fit right away.
Exactly.
And that's okay.
It's all part of the process.
It's like trying on different hats.
Totally.
Until you find one that feels right.
Exactly.
So this speaker had some interesting thoughts about education. He said, while Ivy League schools can open doors,
Sure.
they're not the only path to success.
I agree.
I think that's important to hear because there are so many ways to build a successful career.
Absolutely.
He actually encourages people to consider trades.
What?
HVAC or plumbing. He said those fields are always in demand
That's true.
and you can make a great living doing them.
It's about finding what you love and going for it.
Now, this guy built one of the biggest marketing companies.
So he knows a thing or two about getting your message out there.
Definitely.
And what's interesting is he believes marketing is only effective if you have a good product or service to begin with.
That makes sense.
It's like putting a beautiful dress on a broken mannequin.
Right.
No amount of marketing can make a bad product good.
Exactly.
So before you even think about marketing, you got to make sure you have something awesome to offer.
100%.
And once you do, don't be afraid to experiment with different marketing strategies.
For sure.
What works for one business might not work for another.
It's about finding what resonates with your audience.
It's like trying different spices
I like it.
until you find the perfect blend for your dish.
Makes sense.
This might sound a little counterintuitive, but he's a big advocate for slowing down
Really?
and embracing stillness.
Interesting.
He meditates every day
Wow.
and encourages others to find ways to quiet their minds.
In our go, go, go world,
Yeah.
that's radical.
It is, but he believes that when we create space for stillness, we open ourselves up to new ideas and possibilities.
It's like taking a step back from the canvas
Yes.
to see the whole picture.
Exactly.
You get a fresh perspective.
And he had some thoughts about procrastination.
Oh, we all know about that.
Right.
What'd he say?
He thinks it's a sign we're not really engaged with what we're doing.
That makes sense.
He suggests asking yourself this question. If money were no object, would I still be doing this?
Wow.
If the answer is no, it might be time to rethink things.
Big time.
He also says to break down big goals
Right.
into smaller, more manageable tasks.
Makes it less overwhelming.
It's like climbing a mountain. If you just focus on the summit, it can feel impossible.
Totally.
But if you break it down into smaller steps, it feels much more doable.
Remember what we said about embracing discomfort. Sometimes you just got to push through those initial feelings.
And get started.
It's like jumping into a cold pool. Might be shocking at first, but once you're in, it's not so bad.
And once you're in motion,
Exactly.
it's easier to keep going.
A body in motion stays in motion.
This speaker is also a big believer in travel.
Travel.
He's been all over the world.
Cool.
And he says experiencing different cultures and perspectives can really broaden your horizons and spark new ideas.
You see things with fresh eyes?
He encourages people to travel even if they don't have a lot of money. He says there are ways to do it affordably.
How?
Staying in hostels or house sitting. It's about being resourceful and prioritizing experiences over stuff.
He also had some strong opinions about education.
Really?
He thinks schools should be less focused on memorizing facts and more focused on teaching practical skills that are relevant to the modern world. He used the example of ChatGPT.
Interesting.
Instead of banning it. He thinks schools should teach students how to use it effectively.
That makes sense.
Through prompt engineering.
I like that.
He's all about adapting to the changing times and giving students the tools they'll need.
We've talked a lot about success, but this speaker also emphasizes the importance of giving back.
I love that.
He believes true fulfillment comes from aligning your work with a larger purpose.
Totally.
He actually started a foundation that helps kids in need get access to education.
That's incredible.
It's a beautiful example of using your success to make a difference.
And he encourages everyone to find ways to give back. It doesn't matter how much money you have.
Exactly.
Find a way to help your community.
Even small acts of kindness can make a big difference.
They really can.
It all goes back to that idea of gratitude and perspective.
For sure.
When we focus on helping others, it actually brings more joy and meaning into our own lives.
You get what you give.
Exactly.
Put positive energy out there.
And it comes back to you in ways you can't imagine.
Totally.
I love that.
Me too. It's like that saying, you get what you give. When you put positive energy out there, it tends to come back to you.
It really does.
In ways you don't expect.
Absolutely. And as we're wrapping up this deep dive, I think it's important to remember that success, it's not a destination.
I like that.
It's a journey.
It's about constantly learning and growing and evolving.
Exactly. And it's about embracing all of it.
What do you mean?
The ups and downs, twists and turns, the unexpected detours.
All the messy stuff.
That's the stuff that shapes us.
Makes us who we are.
Right.
So let's recap some of the big takeaways.
Sounds good.
First, remember, social media has flipped the script.
Totally.
You don't need a massive following anymore to reach a huge audience.
Just create great content. The algorithms will do the work.
And if you're looking for a way to make money from your creativity, check out TikTok Shop. It's a game changer.
Especially for small businesses and entrepreneurs.
What else?
Remember that knowledge is only powerful when you actually use it.
Right.
Don't be afraid to experiment. Try new things.
Just get out there and do it.
Learn as you go.
And speaking of trying new things, don't be afraid of AI.
It's a tool.
Exactly.
They can enhance your skills and open up new possibilities.
It can make your life so much easier.
It's also important to embrace discomfort and adversity.
Those are the things that make us stronger.
The crucibles where resilience is forged.
I like that.
And don't forget about self-awareness.
Right.
Take the time to figure out your strengths, your passions, your goals.
That's how you find a path that feels right.
Success isn't just about making money either.
It's about living a good life.
A fulfilling and meaningful life.
Find ways to give back. Make a difference.
Always be learning and growing.
If you enjoyed this deep dive,
share
it with someone who needs to hear it.
We're all about spreading knowledge.
Helping each other succeed.
Absolutely. And if you're feeling inspired to take action, I have a challenge for you.
I'm listening.
What's one small step you can take today to move closer to your goals?
It could be anything.
Brainstorm a new business idea.
Research a new skill.
Reach out to someone you admire for advice.
Even the smallest actions can create a ripple effect.
So true.
Go out there and make it happen.
We'll see you on the next deep dive.
It's like that saying, you get what you give. When you put that positive energy out there, it tends to come back to you in ways you can't imagine.
It really does. It's amazing. As we wrap up this deep dive, I think the biggest thing to remember is that success, it's not like a destination. It's a journey. It's about constantly learning, growing, evolving.
And embracing all the ups and downs.
Exactly. The
Yeah.
twists and turns, those detours,
The messy part.
that's what shapes us. That's what makes us who we are.
So let's recap some of those key takeaways, the ones that really hit home.
First, remember, social media has flipped the script.
It really has.
You don't need thousands of followers to reach people anymore.
Nope.
Just create really engaging content and let those algorithms do their thing.
That's the key.
And if you're thinking about making money from what you love, definitely check out TikTok Shop.
Especially if you're a small business or entrepreneur.
It's a game changer.
What else?
Remember that knowledge is only powerful if you actually use it.
Right. Don't be afraid to get out there and experiment.
Try new things. Learn as you go.
And don't shy away from AI.
It's a tool
That can enhance your skills and open up all sorts of possibilities.
that can make your life so much easier.
It's also important to embrace those uncomfortable moments.
The adversity challenges,
You make us stronger.
they're like the crucibles that forge resilience.
I love that.
And that brings us to self-awareness.
So important.
Take the time to really figure out your strengths, your passions, what you really want to achieve.
It's the only way to find a path that feels right for you.
And remember, success isn't just about the money you make.
It's about living a fulfilling, meaningful life.
Find ways to give back to your community.
Make a difference.
Always keep learning and growing.
If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to share it with someone who needs to hear it.
We're all about spreading knowledge and empowering each other to succeed.
I'd love that.
Now, if you're feeling inspired and ready to take action, I have a little challenge for you.
I'm listening.
What's one small step you can take today to get a little bit closer to your goals?
Doesn't have to be huge.
It could be anything. Brainstorm a new business idea, research a skill,
Reach out to someone you admire and ask for advice.
because even the smallest actions can create a ripple effect.
Go make it happen.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive.